Do the Washington Commanders need to trade back at pick 7? Is a real conversation we need to have. I don't think there's no answer of certainty going into the draft, whether your team trade back, team stick and pick. I think all arguments need to be had, but considering the condition of the cornerback and the wide receiver room, a trade back is something that I'm now opening my head to all the opportunity. I'm trying to have an open mind going into April 23rd when things get underway. A little bit of a Brandon Ayuk update, if you want to call it that. Jeremy Reeves is back for another year in D.C. Let's ramble about Washington. What it do and what's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about our Washington Commanders. It is Friday, March the 20th. It feels like spring in the DMV, and we still don't have certainty in the wide receiver room. Conversations have got disgusting this week where we're debating about Ayuk versus Jawan Jennings, and are we even going to be able to have Brandon Ayuk back for the offseason portion? So as the conversations have been getting weird, we got a bit of an update, if you want to call it that. Shout out to my guy Brandon, Jaden Daniels MVP on Twitter, always holding us down with the latest information. If you listen or subscribe to the John Keim report, he had on 49ers beat reporter Nick Wagoner, and here were the cliff notes from said interview. Brandon Ayuk sort of has a de facto no trade clause, not really, but the trading team would have to rework his contract in which he could have a say in that. Another reason why a team, if for all those, just give him a 7, just give him loot. Here's a glaring example as to why fuck no is the answer from, I'm assuming, the rest of the NFL at this point. Doesn't believe a team will trade for him. The Niners are very aware of Ayuk's desire to play in Washington. So it's not just timeline narratives or YouTube speak, that the league and the Niners know where Brandon Ayuk is trying to go if he's freed or when he's inevitably released from San Francisco. They don't have any picks after the 4th round. So we wanted to know. We were all wondering why this desperate plea for a 7th round draft pick is a thing. Well, they broke his shit. You think Washington doesn't have draft capital? These boys don't have a pick past the 4th round. They don't have a single draft pick past the 4th round. So if you're wondering why they're throwing ass for a 7th round pick for Brandon Ayuk, you've got your answer now. You've got your answer now. They don't fucking pick on day 3 after they make their 4th round selection. So that is why. And I get it now. The Ayuk saga seems like we're far from a resolution, but this provided us with more clarity. Says Washington has the huge advantage over any team because of Jaden. We already know that. And per Keim, sense is that Washington feels pretty good about Ayuk from what they've heard from Jaden. Like I said with Lake, be very careful how friends, even though I know Jaden wants to win, so I doubt he would tell the organization Ayuk was good to go if he wasn't. But if you've all been in a situation like me where you've talked up a friend to put him on with a female, or if you got your friend a job before, you're willing to look past some of your friend's deficiencies to make sure he secures the bag. So very careful on that. I hope AP's relationship and what he knows about IU is more of what we going off of than just Jaden's friendly advice. But sounds like Ayuk has been working towards playing. Great news to hear. Ayuk had a good reputation with teammates. I don't think any teammates had a problem with him. I don't think he's coming in here with a reputation of a bad teammate. So we did get a little bit of answers going forward about the Brandon Ayuk situation. And Kime pretty much confirmed on his podcast that Washington, they were under the assumption that Alec Pierce was going to sign with Washington if he makes it to free agency. So when you heard that Washington put up a big deal for our guy, Alec Pierce, well, not our guy, Indianapolis's guy, believe it, Washington was under the assumption, I don't know how, because that's illegal tampering, but we were under the guise that if he hits free agency, he would be a Washington Commander. So do what you will with that information. Do what you will with that information. We shall see. But as we sit here on March the 20th and debate shit like, should we sign Jawan Jennings to a 1-year contract? Should we bring Debo back? Is there any possible trades out there? That's when you start to have to really consider taking a wide receiver early or consider trading back in the draft. And I've been a big proponent of, we suffered through a season of fucking losing. So you got to take a player at 7. You earned that right. When you ask for a whole season, when you're getting stomped on and setting records for most 21-point deficits, you take a player at pick 7. But we've put ourselves in a position where we've allowed ourselves to not only go best player available, we've invited the conversation of maybe Washington should consider stacking some picks. And I probably feel the same way as people who say this, but there are going to be people that say, hey, Washington had so many cracks at it in 2024. All those picks did not result to a bunch of hits. Fuck it. Take the best player. Take the best player. You know? I want a baller. I want a blue chipper. The farther you trade back, a blue chipper is, a blue chipper is not guaranteed. A blue chipper ain't guaranteed at 1, at 10, at 30, and definitely at 200. But odds says your best bet at it is to pick earlier in the draft. And the tricky thing about this specific draft class is best players are at positions that the league does not consider, quote unquote, high value. The best players in this draft, Jeremiah Love, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles. I will say Arvell Reese, but Arvell Reese has edge potential. So, and Sonny Styles has edge versatility. But Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Love are pound for pound top 3 players in this class. They would come in immediately as a first-round pick as one of the higher paid safeties and running backs in the NFL, because those aren't positions that are valued by the league. So it makes you think, should Washington consider trading back? I'm still team pick at 7, but I'm willing to hear the conversation. I'm willing to hear it at this point. I'm willing to hear out how far are we trading back and what does the compensation look like? Because my favorite wide receiver in this draft class could potentially go later in the first, and that's Jordan Tyson. I could still get Jordan Tyson later in the first. Nothing's guaranteed. They didn't flag any of his medicals at the combine. I'm not trading back with the emphasis of hoping a certain player falls to me, but you may really like some of the other players at the positions that we think Washington needs. We may like Mansour Delane. We may think some of the guys you can get later in the round or later in the draft are as good as Mansour Delane, Brandon Cisse out of South Carolina, or Colton Hood out of Texas, or anything like that. But you never know. And like my guy said, the league do be on crack sometimes. The league be on crack cocaine. The draft is a weird place. Somebody that shouldn't be drafted early is going to go early. Somebody who should have got drafted early is going to fall out of the entire first round. And my favorite theme on the timeline and in the comments is Rio, this player will or won't get the 71. No one has a fucking clue who's going at 71 or before. Nobody. We don't know what the board's going to look like. We don't know what. There could be someone allegedly picked on night one sitting there at 71. So nobody knows anything. So I'm opening up the conversation and I'm willing to hear out options. So let's play on the mock draft simulator for a little bit. If you could do me a solid, smash that like button on this stream. All videos on the channel. It helps this grow to a wider market. We're trying to get to 25,000 by the end of 2026. We're trying to push this channel to a wider audience. I want a silver play button one day. Let's get to a quarter of that by the end of this year, 25K, all that good stuff. Let's play with the mock draft machine and do what Queen Sheen said and smash that like button while we do so. I have the machine open. They got the updated Titans logo. Feel what you will about it. It does look strange because it's very new. My eye hasn't been trained to it yet, so it still looks super new right now. Let's see. Let's see what's out there at pick 7, and let's see what's gone off the board so far. So in these first 6 picks of this mock draft, Fernando Mendoza, we don't even need to talk about it. We all know what's happening with the first pick. Ruben Bain goes number 2. David Bailey goes number 3. Hey, please, Ruben Bain, go number 2. Because if he's there at 7, I could see Dan Quinn on his knees, pause, begging for Bain at 7. So Bain goes number 2 to the Jets, who most people assume are taking Arvell Reese. Bailey goes number 3 to the Cardinals. Carnell Tate goes number 4 to the Tennessee Titans. They said we're not picking Love despite what consensus on the timeline is saying. Caleb Downs goes to the New York Giants. I know he's an undersized safety. I know he's not an athletic freak like Kyle Hamilton. I also know if he's not the best player in this entire class, he's the second best player in this class. And sometimes you just take the best football player. I could see John Harbaugh falling in love with a player like like Caleb Downs. And I could definitely see Caleb Downs having that damn Commander tag. So we're going to see. Francis Maui Noah goes at number 6 to Cleveland, and there's going to be people in the chat saying, well, you got to start this one over because Bain went at number 2. Niggas love Ruben Bain. There are people that hate the idea of an edge rusher having T-Rex arms, but Ruben Bain has stellar tape. His tape is phenomenal. He has wonderful you can't tell looking at his build, looking at his hairline and his face car. You wouldn't think he could bend the corner as fast and explosive as he does. And he was never going to light it up as a tester. But there is a world where Bain goes in the top 3 of this class because he probably has the best cumulative edge tape of all the guys there. However, I think David Bailey has more of the traits people value more at edge. I could see Ruben Bain going that early. And I hope Ruben Bain does go that early. So, in the spirit of today's stream, Washington is going to entertain trading back at 7. If they trade back with Love, Styles, and Reese on the board at 7, that shit's going to cause a hurricane amongst this fan base unless we picking at 10. Unless we picking at like 9 or 10, where you have a chance of getting one of these guys, this shit is going like Adam Peters would blow a gasket in our fan base. How would y'all feel if he traded it out? Jaden needs help. Absolutely. I wouldn't hate it if we picked Ruben Bain. I just would rather not. I'll be that team that is seen in a few years as, wow, they passed on Ruben Bay. I'll be that team. I'll take that chance. I would rather have Bailey of the two. I'm cool. That does not strike me as a full-time edge rusher in the NFL, but he's a dog. So, in the spirit of today's mock draft, let's see what's been offered for this spot. Are y'all willing to go with the ops? Y'all keep telling me, Rio, Washington needs to trade back. Is this enough? Is this enough to move back, go back 5 spots and miss out on the opportunity of Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, and Arvell Reese? Are y'all willing to play your cards and move back 5 spots and potentially relinquish that such talent to the Dallas Cowboys? Is that enough? It looks like that's a big fuck no in the chat. It looks like absolutely not. Ronell Winchester, appreciate you for always locking in on the channel. Appreciate you for the dub. If Sonny Styles is not there, then possibly trade back for a few lower round picks. If so, we could give the 49ers our 7th pick and rewrite the contract. Oh, no. In no way, shape, or form are we giving the Niners a pick for our wide receiver too. He gets here on June the 2nd. Probably misses mandatory minicamp. He's probably ready for training camp. Hopefully, fingers crossed. There is no way that you give the Niners. I want us to get out of this thinking. I know we are impatient and we want this Ayuk shit solved so we can breathe easier going into the draft. We do not at any point relinquish a draft pick to the 49ers. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. I like your thinking, though, that we should consider trading back if a guy like Styles or somebody's not on the board. In this situation, somebody's got to write me a king's ransom. Let me give you another hypothetical. Let's reject this, by the way, and it's Dallas. Let's propose a trade. Like, let's say Jalen Waddle just went to the Dolphins. They're picking what, 11th? Let's say the Dolphins offered this to get up to 7. Where are the Dolphins? Right here. Let's say the Dolphins were to offer for pick 7, 11, 30, and they want another one of our, they'll take one of our 6th or 7th round picks. No, they're not doing that shit. They're not doing that shit. It would probably take 187. They're not doing that shit. 11 and 30, they're going to be like, it's been rejected. So, but if they were offering something like that, I'd consider it because Washington would then be picking twice in the first round. That's not how draft order works. I'd see the popular one is, I think it's the Tampa Bay Bucks. This is the one I see everybody who does a mock draft, they're doing this. And this is somehow getting it done all the time. Washington moves back to 15 and gets 46, gets a 2nd round pick. This is one that I typically see. You're moving back 8 spots. You're leaving Styles, Reese, and Love to the field. It would take a doozy to make me move off that pick. But what do y'all think? Oh, yeah. Also, RIP Chuck Norris. Walker, Texas Ranger with triple diamond in black households growing up. Bro, RIP to Chuck Norris, man. Somebody said Chuck Norris didn't die. Death Chuck Norris. Sounds about right. But I would need to be knocked off my fucking socks to trade back at this point. I would need to be knocked off my socks to trade back. And, Mean Joe Green also died. RIP to Mean Joe Green. But it would, like, this is a world Washington could be. I don't think Jeremiah Love gets there. I don't think Arvell Reese gets there, but we can't eliminate these options. There is a world where Vega Owane and someone starts going earlier, someone trades earlier into the top 6. Nobody's mock drafts end up looking right. Not one person predicted the trade up for Travis Hunter last year. Anything can happen. Washington needs to be ready to go depending on what the board looks like. Would y'all accept getting a second rounder to move back 8 spots? Me personally, that works for me because I think there's a Vega Owane. I think that's how you. I'm not gonna say the whole first name, but I think the last name is Owane from Pittsburgh. Is that not it? But 15 and 46. If the board looked like this, I'm sticking and picking. But we're playing trade back games today. I'll take a second round pick. I think one of the top three receivers is going to be there at 15. I would potentially do it. They said if a trade back is offered, I'm going to need 2 first round picks to move from 7. It depends how far, but if the board looks like this, I'm not fucking trading back. I will tell you this. I've seen people on the timeline floating the idea that Washington may trade all the way out of the first round. And to that, I say, nigga, we are hosting the draft next year. We are drafting from National Mall in the D.C., the nation's capital. There is not, I don't even think the league would fucking allow us to trade out of the first round. Roger Goodell would be on AP's line number 1. Yo, y'all are hosting the fucking draft. Y'all are making a pick. Y'all are hosting it in DC for the first time ever. You're making a pick, whether you like it or not. So stay on the damn clock. They're not letting us trade out of the first round next year. And also, that 2027 class, we've heard all the urban legend and folklore about it. We're not going out of the first round next year. So, are we saying no to this trade? Are we saying no to this 15 and 46? It looks like we're saying no. So let's see just how much we could get for pick 7, because I'm trying to exercise, and this is also a learning exercise of why I want to stay at pick 7. I don't think there's a way you trade out of this, but you see. Let's say the Chiefs, hey, Kansas City, yo, y'all trying to move 2 spots? Sure. Come get you some talent, man. Come get you a dog. Y'all just lost Leo Chenal. Come pair Nick Bolton with Sonny Style. Come get Mekhi Lemon or Jordan Tyson. Come get you a demon. We got a couple demons on the board. Move back 2 spots to pick 9. What'll get it done? Fuck no. Maybe 40. Give me 40. I'll move back 2 spots for 40. But what if we swap 187? Nope, they rejected it. 147? Nope, they still rejecting it. I'm not giving them 71. They got me fucked up. But see, I would go back. So if they gave us their second rounder and a pick next year, nobody trying to trade that 2027 pick. See, this is about as far as I would want us to go. So I don't think you're getting 40 to move back 2 spots. I think you're getting 74. I think you're getting 74, and you're getting 74, and you're going to have 2 third-round picks. To move back 2 spots, that's about as much as I really feel like you're getting at this point. Here, have our third rounder so we can go up and get a demon. I don't think that's about as far back as I'd want to move in this scenario. You know? And I'm not sure it's enough. But you're banking on one of those 3 being there. 7 and 8. One of those 3 demons. So you're getting someone you love, you consider a blue chip talent, and you're getting a third round pick. I think Washington takes it. So, hey, you're getting one of them. You're getting one of them if you do this. Let's propose it and see if they take it. Like, we're experimenting. I'm not saying I would do this shit. We're experimenting. They rejected it. So, nope. Not happening. Let me try one more thing with Kansas City. Let me try one more thing. And no, guys, Daron Payne is not an option to put in this fucking trade. Niggas be throwing Daron Payne as a sweetener on everything. If we throw in one of our day 3 picks, y'all with the shits? Still no? Still no. Is that deep for y'all? I'm not giving you these, but I just want to put these out there just to see. Oh, if that's not enough, y'all could eat a dick. So this is a pointless trade at this point. If it was a pick swap, I'm not doing no fucking pick swap with y'all. Hell no. So Kansas City don't want to play ball. Who's picking 10th in the draft? Who's picking after Kansas City? Is that the Bengals? I think it's the Bengals. Yeah, it's the Bengals. The Bengals. Hey, Cincinnati. Yo. How y'all feel about these prospects on the board right now? Throw me your second round. You see, you try to get greedy and they don't be trying to do that shit. They don't be trying to, they're not even just trying to give you 72. They're close though. Okay. So we've got Cincinnati willing to play ball with us. So Washington would have back-to-back picks in the third round. Are you willing to chance not getting one of the top 4 players in the class to add a third round pick and pick back-to-back in the third round? The only person that offered me a trade was the Cowboys. And I want us to see how this trade back exercise goes if they don't offer you one, because most of the offers you get, it'd be real foo-foo offers. It'd be real fugazi. But what y'all trying to do? This is when you give them Deron. This is when Deron comes into play. Hey, yo, I got Deron Payne for you. 1 year left on his deal, $22 million cap hit. He's still on demon time. Yeah, you know what he did last time he was in payday pain mode in a contract deal. We got 11.5 sacks. But you do it and you take a wide receiver at 10, you make the deal. Let's see if they'll accept the deal. Let's see. So Washington would be picking back-to-back in the third round, and we're going to see who's still on the board. If y'all don't take it, y'all some hoes for real. See, y'all being hoes now. Y'all being hoes. Okay, so I got a compromise. I got a counter to that. I got a counter for you. 7 and 209 for 10 and 70. Oh, see, man, y'all playing, bro. Y'all playing. Why y'all playing? See, y'all don't even want my 6th round pick. I'm not. Let's see, 187. 7 and 187. See, if that doesn't get it done, we can't do business, brother. We can see they would accept this. I'm not doing 147. No. What? See, that's a pick swap, pretty much. 147. No, that's 4th round. That's 4th round. So Washington would trade our. No, I don't want that. No, I want us to gain something at this point. Y'all see what I mean with this trade back shit? It's real risky business. It's real risky business at this point. Very risky. Very, very, very risky business. So what we doing? I'm using Pro Football Network. I'm not paying for the subscription for PFF, so don't even ask. What Nick Saban said, so don't ask. Don't even ask. This shit is funny, man. Nah, we're not doing this. We're not doing this, bro. This was theoretically a pick swap twice. Like, they want 147 for 10 and 72. This is when they'll accept it. They will not accept it like this, but they're close. This is when you throw in the sweetener. We don't got too many sweeteners on the roster, but that's when you would throw it in. Try Miami at 11. We tried them. We tried to go aggressive. Let's see. Let's try to be more realistic with Miami. They're not finna give us 30, but they do got multiple second rounders too, right? Let's see what Miami trying to do at 11. Come on. 7. Give me 7. We'll give you 7. Let's see. 75. 11. They'll give us 7. Okay, so they'll give us their third rounders to move up to 7. They'll give us 75 to move up to 7. We're not getting 43 for those of y'all out there. Oh, man. Hold up now. Can we make it shake? Nope. Okay, so hold on. This isn't adding Washington any picks, but would you move up? Would you move back 4 spots and trade up from 71 to 43? So instead of Washington not having a second, Washington wouldn't have a third. Would you do this trade? This is an experimental stream. I want y'all to know we're just going through options right now. Would y'all move back 4 spots, miss out on one of these demons to turn Washington's third into a second rounder? Would anybody do that? Because I would consider it. I would consider that shit. I would consider it. It looks on the. I would try to get something else though. Like let's try to get greedy real quick, nigga. Throw us 90. Nope, not happening. Y'all got hella picks, bro. Okay, throw us 130 as well, and it's done. Nope. Throw us 151. Nope. It's close though. Okay, so let's see if we could find a way to get 151 out of them. Good. That's another pick swap. That's another pick swap. So that's not going to work for me. So there's, God damn it, we're so close though. We're so close. See, if it was, I would do this if we could get this 151 also. Not the alcohol. We're talking about a pick here. It would depend, man. It would depend. It would depend. I'm not trading back. I want the team to trade back. That ain't what this stream is about right now. Y'all don't got to fight for your life in the chat. We're trading back in this stream today. The whole idea of this, I did a trade back mock draft yesterday, and I loved what I came out with. And my mock draft, that shit was beautiful to me. And beauty is in the eye of its beholder. But I came away with Jordan Tyson, Chris Johnson, Michael Tav, Parker Brailsford, Caleb Alarms Orr, and Trey Moore. And I love that shit. But we trading right now. We trading. You don't think we should be trying to trade up? You don't think we should be trying to trade for some 2027 pick? I would love some 2027 picks. I would love them. But I also need something right now because I need this team to not be ass again next year. Let's see if we can get something next year. Let's see if we can get something next year. Nope. 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 And I don't give a fuck about a sixth rounder. Nope. They still not trying to do nothing next year. So, okay. Let's take 43 off. They'll give us 75. They'll give us 75 and 11 to move back from 7. Are y'all willing to take that move? And Mansour Delane could still be on the board. Makai Lemon could still be on the board, even though I think they might be taking him here. What y'all trying to do? What y'all trying to do? We're going over every part. This is the Doctor Strange. We're going over all 14 million realities that could take place. This is the best trade back offer we've been able to finagle during this stream so far. I think you take it. Let's see who falls to pick 11 for 75. Washington's picking twice in the 70s now. Let's see what it's going to be. Let's see what it's going to be. Sonny Styles, for whatever reason, is still on the board. We're not doing one of those streams where Washington trades back and then trades back again and we flip that into that. We're not doing one of them pyramid scheme ass videos. We traded back once. We're making a pick here. For whatever reason, Alexander Sonny Styles is still there. Could you imagine how we would feel on draft night if we got Sonny Styles and added a pick while doing so? I would probably hate the trade back at the time, and we would be cussing AP's name out at Pascal's house at our draft party. But once Sonny falls there, but then you have to start playing the game of why he fall this fall. How's he going to be there? What do we know? What do we not know? What did they see in the medicals? Are y'all, is this too good to be true? I'd start calling around like draft day when they were calling around for Bo Callahan. You start asking yourself funny questions. Well, guess what? He fell here. We're going to take him. We're going to take him. Who did the Dolphins take at 7? Let's see how the board fell. They took Arvell Reese, the demon from Ohio State, that people don't know exactly quite how they want to use in the next level. He fell in this one. Mekhi Lemon went to the Saints, number 8. And he definitely a culture fit in Nowlands. Jeremiah Love. So the Chiefs still took Love despite getting Kenneth Walker on PFF's draft board. Because this is Pro Football Network, but I always use the PFF draft board. They got a 2. They said Patrick Mahomes may need some time. There's a world where we might actually have to put Justin Fields on the field. If that's the case, we're going to give him a backfield so good the nigga don't got to throw the football. They took Love anyway, and the Bengals trusted their eyes and trusted the 2024 tape and took Jermod McCoy as the first corner off the board. Somebody out there is going to say that's not real. I will tell you, 2024 Jermod McCoy, way better than Mansour Delane in 2025, even though I think Delane is very worthy of a top 10 pick in this draft. Just saying, we're going to take Sonny Styles, and Washington now has 2 picks in the 3rd round, baby. We got a guy that we would have gladly took at 7, at 11. I'm not mad at it. I'm going to take what it's given us. We're going to do this exercise all over again when we finish this draft right here. We already traded back once. We're not interested in trading back again. We're now on the board at 71. We pick again in 4 spots at 75. I like Kamari Ramsey. I think he could play free safety at the next level. He's a guy who could very well be off the board when Washington picks. Nothing is a guarantee. We don't know when any of these guys are getting drafted. It's a long wait, 63 picks later. Or 58 picks later, however many picks later. So we're very interested in Romello Height, even though he's as lean as they come as an edge rusher. He's a little on the older side. He's someone we're interested in. He's out there. Dalen Everett, the cornerback, is out there. Center, Jake Slaughter, out there. Skylar Bell, wide receiver. I love it. We got 2 cracks at it in the 3rd round. I want 2 needs here. Jacob Rodriguez, for whatever reason, he's still out there, but we took Sonny Styles in the 1st round. We don't need to overkill it. But, hey, we went overkill at edge in free agency. You never know. What do y'all think here? I like Kamari Ramsey and one of the receivers. I would love Skylar Bell and Kamari Ramsey. We got a couple cracks at this in the 70s. What are we thinking, chat? We got a couple cracks at it. Chris Brazzell is still there too. Jake Slaughter, I know. I never knew I needed to know what centers' relative athletic scores were this year. Jager Burton and Slaughter have crazy relative athletic scores. The Penn State DN, who had like the best 3-cone in the draft also. You know, Fields from Notre Dame. I like Fields. I don't like him as much, but I think we go Ramsey here and receiver with the next one. And if the receiver's gone, you go edge. Kamari Ramsey, your commander. And let's see who went. Jake Slaughter's off the board, so the center's gone. LT Overton, Chandler. Okay, so I like how my board is looking here, man. You know what I don't like? My wide receiver room. So I like Skylar Bell. I like me some Skylar Bell here. 6 foot 190 and a high relative athletic score. I like what we're doing with this one. Come on down. You're a commander. We still at 147 next. I'm liking center edge cornerback for my next pick. Center edge quarterback with our next pick. I like what we've done so far. We added 1 pick. Center edge quarterback. Let's see. They got the corner from North Carolina. Jalen Stroman, the safety from Notre Dame. Jalen Kilgore, which could be a safety, could be a corner. He could be a nickel in the league. Hezekiah Masses, the corner from Cal. Harold Perkins is there. He could play edge. He could play backer. He could play a little bit in between. Caden Curry, the edge from Ohio State. I don't really hear people talking about him much, but he's straight. He pops on film too. Everybody on Ohio State's defense pops. Both of the corners from Washington are there. I like Takario Davis. He has a lot of length and a high relative athletic score. He could be a commander. He could still be there next time we pick too. We up in 30 picks. Kevin Coleman Jr., the receiver out of Missouri, still on the board. Washington has clear interest. Apparently, we've met with this guy a bunch of times too. What are we thinking with this next one? What are we thinking? Yo, we got to stop the trade Terry shit, man. We got to stop the trade Terry. You know, like I don't think the trading Terry option is something that we consider at this point. I like Jatarian Price, which is Love's other running back at Notre Dame, but I think the only running back we consider on days 1 and 2 of the draft is his teammate, Jeremiah Love. But I like Lorenzo Styles to stay at corner rather than to play safety, and I think that's a guy we can get later. So let's see. Let's go back up here. I think I might take Curry. I might take Curry out of Ohio State. Or, I mean, talking about lean edge rushers, Quintavious Hutchins, he's smaller. I'm just going through the options of what Washington could do. What do y'all see Harold Perkins Jr. as in the NFL? Because he seems like another player people have a hard time projecting. Is he just an off-ball backer, or is he the same prototype as Arvell Reese, like the tweener between off-ball backer and edge, blitzing off the edge? I mean, rushing off the edge. You know? I don't want to trade back. This whole stream right now is about trading back at 7. So just letting folks know that. You know? Alabama center. We do got to get a center at some point. And I'm very comfortable drafting that center on round 3. I don't feel like we have to be hardcore pressed to take that earlier in the draft. You know? We're not getting I don't think we get a first rounder for Terry at this point of his career, but I don't think trading Terry is an option. Like, we don't know who's starting in the slot and on the boundary opposite Terry. I don't want to trade Terry McLaurin. Terry's a lifer. Terry is a lifer at this point. We got enough Taviuses. They said, nah, nigga, we can't add any more Taviuses to the roster. We need some people with some normal names on it, man. You like him in a 3-4, but do you like him where in a 3-4? Where is he? It is round 5. Like, you're at round 5. You're not sitting here talking about, no, but I love this guy here, but I love this guy. You're just projecting players to be good pros at this point. And I think I can't pass on Harold Perkins here. Even though we took Backer in the first round, he could be an edge. The lifer until next year, apparently. Man, let Terry age gracefully and let them rework that contract to get his money down and off the books, man. Let's not yet go to a life without Terry McLaurin, but cornerback room needs a body. We need some bodies to compete in here. Devin Marshall, NC State. Dakario Davis is just a freak, though. Dakario Davis is a freak, man. High-ass relative athletics. I don't know if we need 2 corners with length like this, but you know what? I know Dan Quinn likes it. Low dollar store Legion of Boom. Let's get it. Trey Amos and Dakario Davis. Not even saying that he would start, you know? Damn, I could have went the corner out of Oregon, too. I like the corner out of Oregon. So let's get us a center right now. We're on day 3. This one I like centers being drafted. I don't like centers being drafted too much earlier than this range right here. Alabama, they run a zone scheme over there. Parker Brelford, come on down. I'm not about to sit here and talk to you like I'm Mitch Tischler about the ins and outs and intricacies of the center position. Not going to do it. And we said we was going to take Sonny's brother. We're going to complete the Styles evolution in the NFL. I'm playing him at cornerback. They have him listed as safety. I'm keeping him at the cornerback position here. So you get a speed deep. You got an athletic length guy in Dakario Davis, and you got a 4.2 speed corner and Lorenzo Sonny Styles' brother, Lorenzo Styles Jr., you know? And to end the draft, whatever. Like we could do whatever the fuck at this point. We could do whatever. This is what we've done so far. We traded back from 7 to 11, still got our blue chip talent in Sonny Styles. Kamari Ramsey, potential free safety starter from day one out of USC. Skylar Bell, who's a guy I see going in the second round of this class, who could very well fall to 71. We don't fucking know. So for everybody thinking, everybody with their Mel Kiper Jr. glasses on, we don't know how any of this is going to play out. Let's finish this draft up. I'm just going to throw some talent on the board, and we're going to start this exercise over for the top, and we're going to do it again. Take a flyer on maybe like a running back or something. They say get Fitzgerald and get both USC safeties. Grab a kicker just for the fuck of it, just for the hell of it. Nah, hey, bro, put our faith in. We do probably need to give him some competition and to look over his shoulder, Jake Moody. But a third corner might be redundant. You know what? Add another running back to the room. Come back to the DMV, Roman Hemby. Call it a day. You can go compete with Ford and Jeremy McNichols. You could be our practice squad running back. And trade back from 7, exercise A. Washington traded back from the 7th overall pick to the 11th overall pick. We gained a 3rd round pick to move back 4 spots. We potentially drafted a starting receiver. Washington starts the class with a starting safety and a starting linebacker and a starting receiver. Takario Davis and Lorenzo Styles round out your secondary. Center depth for a guy that played in a zone scheme in college, and Parker Brailsford, and we add a running back just to add a running back at the end of the day. Now let's do it again. And maybe the pre-rendered options will be better. We won't have to create our own trade. Let's do it again, baby. Put it on fast per usual. 7 rounds. Give me the PFF board because I like it better than the Pro Football Network board. Washington. Let's get active, baby. Now let's see what happens this time. Okay, there's your 2027 draft capital, and Washington would be trading a 4th for a 2nd. That's one of your trade back options. 22, 55, a 2nd and a 4th. That's a lot of draft capital, but that's 15 spaces back. And let's see how the board fell as well. So I'm going to let y'all stew over these options, and we're going to look at what's on the board, and we're going to determine what's best for the team. Washington having an additional 2nd and a 4th in 2027 is very attractive. That board is speaking to me, though. 15, 46, and a 2nd next year to give them our 4th and the 7th pick. So while we stew over those options, David Bailey is on the board and Arvell Reese. I think Adam Peters would take David Bailey. Adam Peters has not shown that he's predictable at all, so I could be very wrong. Adam Peters does whatever he wants to. He marches to the beat of his own drum. I think Adam Peters takes David Bailey in said situation. What up, my guy D Watts 2000 said, Terry to me is the definition of a lifer, and seeing Terry in another uniform would be disgusting, like looking at Art Monk in a Jets uniform. And I hate when we see the league's legends on another team to end their career. Not saying Terry's on that level, but he does feel like a Washington lifer. He does feel like a bunch of 1-year team-friendly deals await him just to keep him along as he ages gracefully through this latter half of his career. But next year, when that cap hit hits $34 million, conversations need to be had. So while I think Terry's a Washington lifer, don't mean he is one. What do y'all think is the move here? The first trade. Okay, I'm gonna put them back on the board for you, for those who didn't see it. These are our trade offers. The Bucks are offering us 15 for 7 and potentially trading our 4th round pick at 147 for the 46th pick. And they're giving us a 2nd. So we would have 2 2s in that draft that everyone is raving about. So Washington's picking twice on day 2 when we host the draft in DC. We now have a second round pick. We lose a fourth rounder. So we technically don't gain in this option. The other option, the Los Angeles Chargers, 15 spots back, are giving us a late first, a late second round pick. So Washington's gaining a second rounder, and they add a second and a fourth next year. Option 1 or 2. And both of these options would be passing on David Bailey, Arvell Reese, Mekhi Lemon, Mansour Delane, etc. So option 1 or option 2, ladies and gentlemen, which one is it going to be? Which one is it going to be? It would be Bailey. It would definitely be Bailey. Terry is our Fitzgerald. You know, he's our budget Fitzgerald. He's our Costco brand Larry Fitzgerald. So we're trading back today. That's what we're doing. I think we pick here. I would pick here. David Bailey, we would all have a great time. But out of these two options, are you taking the Bucks trade or are you taking the Chargers trade? The Chargers trade, you actually add picks and you add them this and next year. In this trade, you add a pick next year and you're theoretically trading our fourth round pick for a second round pick. I like the Bucks trade because it's not that far back. I love the amount of capital the Chargers are giving to you, but I don't think we could really be looking too deeply into 2027. We need to win right now. We need to win right now, you know? I think there is a way. We've seen better prospects fall in the draft at some point. So it's possible. It's possible. It's possible the league says, we don't know if this nigga's a backer or an edge. And he falls to 7. It's possible. I think he's the number 2 pick of the draft, but it is possible. You know? LA all day. LA all day. Do a poll. At 22, we might be able to still take Tyson. I know. And Jordan Tyson at pick 22, that entices me. But we don't have a fourth rounder this year. We don't. We'd have one next year. I don't know how deeply we can look for next year. Take 15 and see if they give you another one. LA Chargers all day, plus the extra capital to move around. So we took a trade to 11 last time. For the sake of the experiment, we're going to take the Chargers trade and we're going to see what's on the board. And we're going to go back before we pick. We're going to go back and see what was out there. We're not taking another trade back. So let's go back up here and see what ended up happening. The Saints, well, the Chargers traded up for Arvell Reese. Makes a lot of sense. He has no reason being there at 7, but he could be. David Bailey goes 8. Maui Noah, Delane, Mekhi Lemons, now the number 1 target getter in Miami, McCoy to Dallas. Jordan Tyson to the Rams. Oh, my. He would go crazy. For everybody that is afraid to draft Jordan Tyson because of his injury history, watch what Sean McVay and Matt Stafford do with a nigga like Jordan Tyson in that offense. Watch how crazy he goes. Love that for them. Love that for them. Caleb Banks, Monroe Freeland, Dylan Thieneman, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, Denzel Boston. Washington is up at 22, and here is the board. Akeem Messidor is old, but he gets busy from the edge. This is Kelvin Falk territory. This is Keldrick Falk territory right here. The 20-year-old, 6'6", 280-pound edge. This is the territory where Keldrick Falk starts looking attractive to team. Kenyon Sadiq still on the board. I don't think we take Kenyon Sadiq, even though Sadiq and Chig would be fun. It would be very fun. What's out here at receiver? I think they're lower on Omar Cooper. I think Omar Cooper is available. Omar Cooper, not the 45th best player in the draft. This is when you start looking. KC Concepcion, anybody? Can I sell anybody on a rack demon and a returner if something happens to Lane? Can I sell anybody on KC Concepcion or Omar Cooper? This is probably around where he's going to get taken in the draft. He's going in the 20s at some point. Omar Cooper, KC Concepcion, or an edge. Talk to me. Yeah, Messidor finna be 26 this year. But he nice, though. He nice. He nice as shit. I don't know about him in the first round. I don't know about him in the first round. KC Concepcion, Omar Cooper Jr. I think it's Omar. Can't do KC in the first. Omar Cooper is a first rounder, and he's going in the first rounder. Keldrick Falk or Omar Cooper Jr.? KG Falk or Omar Cooper Jr.? I need good receivers. Height ain't no requirement for me at receiver, but Omar Cooper's a 6-foot receiver. He got plenty enough size. He plays big too. 6 foot, 196. That's as big as you need to be. And he offers hella. KC and Omar Cooper are probably your best bang for your buck for yards after catch and with the ball in your hand in the entire class. Keldrick Falk has better value probably as an edge, but I think I want a wide receiver here. Or do we go Vega Owane, who people think could go in the top 10? Do we go Adam Peters? Probably trades back and gives us this guy, a demon on the inside, which wouldn't be sexy, but that's probably going to be the pick. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing it. So don't ask me to. But Keldrick Falk or receiver make the most sense here. AP is probably going Keldrick Falk or Vega Owane here. What do y'all think that we should do? Omar does have a full route tree. He's good. That's why I don't know how the fuck they got him ranked 45th. He's going like 25 or under in the draft. He can go top 20. A really good team could take him earlier too. A team that got no business picking where they're picking. Like, he would fit right in the Rams offense. You know? Yep, but unfortunately, we did not lose those games. So on March 20th, that information don't do much for us, man. It's Omar Cooper Jr. for me. Even though I'm very tempted to pick Vega Owane because I feel like we would do some shit like that. That would feel just like the Connerly pick, but it would make sense. But nobody trying to hear that shit on draft night. These are the picks we currently have. We do pick in the second round, at the end of the second round, now that I added picks to the draft. So, is it Cooper? We going with Cooper? We going with Coop? We're going with Coop. Give me Cooper. Take the guard. Get the receiver later. You could argue Iwane is the best O-line. All right, we're going to Adam Peters. We're going to eat our vegetables. Washington wants the best offensive line in the league because everything we do affects Jaden Daniels. We're going to pick Owane with the second overall pick. Vega Owane. I'm sorry if that's not how you pronounce that name. That's how we pronouncing it on this side. Do y'all want to move back one pick? Fuck it. We adding another pick. We just added another pick to our arsenal of draft picks, and now we got options. I know Chris Johnson is staring at me like the Green Goblin mask right now. We went with the non-sexy option with our first pick. We went with the guard potential center type player. This is how I would go about this. Chris Johnson, love him. One of my favorite corners in this entire class. You take him there. Let's fill out some needs. We got the interior lineman. We should feel more confident about Allegretti in that room. Owane is a guard. You got an elite left guard. You got depth at the guard position if you keep him there, or you potentially make him snap the football for you. They call him the best lineman in the class. Safety or cornerback next. It would be a great pick. That it's broccoli. It's fucking broccoli. It's cauliflower and broccoli. Nobody want to hear that shit, but it's good for the team. So Washington needs, and we love how the board looks. We're picking here at 71, then 124, 147, and 187. So we like how it is. Are y'all cool with the receivers here, or do we go secondary here and pray somebody gets to 124 since we have that as an option now? Malachi Fields, Zachariah Brandt, Skylar Bell, Chris Brazel, CJ Daniels, Deion Burks, Antonio Williams, Stribling, Thompson. There are options. So somebody going to be there at 124. Which secondary? We just hit corner? Oh, do we hit safety here? Do we hit edge? Do y'all like the edge options in a later round, or do y'all like LT Overton enough from Alabama that you consider going LT Overton here? Romello Height, Anthony Lucas. Romello looked like Bam Adebayo in a uniform, but he gets busy and he has pass rush move. He lean as hell, but what we thinking? What we thinking at 71? Safety or receiver? Safety, receiver, edge. Safety, receiver, edge. What we thinking? What we doing here? I see some Brazzles, safety from LSU. Is Halsey still there? Oh, Bud Clark on the board too. Bud Clark on the board. Michael Taft's on the board. We got options. Zakee Wheatley's there. I think he's a free safety. I mean, a strong safety though. I see Kamari and Bud Clark as more free safety options. Even Michael Taft, he could be budget Harrison Smith, another athletic white safety. Thoughts? Thoughts. The Arizona safety is good too. Where are we going with this one? Ramsey. We went Ramsey last one, so I'm liable to do something different this time. Jadarian Price still on the board. I'm not taking the only running back I'm taking before super late is the guy that would go in the top 5, which is Jeremiah Love. There's also Jake Slaughter on the board at center. We already no, hell no. We're not. No, my bad. I forgot what we did in the first round. Erase that throw. Men in Black zap that shit. What we doing here? Malachi Fields, edge, 6'4" and runs a 4.3. Romello is the pick. He can play, and they like him. I know they like him. Ty Simpson, safety, Ramsey Rio, Brazo, wide receiver. Wide receiver is the biggest need on the team, and since we love Jaden, we want to get him one. Which receiver is it going to be? I did Skylar Bell in our last one. We'll try to do something different. My favorite is Zachariah Branch, but y'all telling me in the chat we need size. Malachi Fields has that. Was a dual threat collar, deep threat. Used to be a quarterback. Okay, doing something new. I haven't taken Malachi Fields in a mock yet. Malachi Fields is the pick. Boom. So we went guard, corner, wide receiver. So we went interior. We have the best offensive line in the division, in the conference, and trying to get up there in the league at this point because we went OD at the line position. And that means Brandon Coleman, Nick Allegretti, whoever decides to win that center job. We have incredible depth behind Owane if he doesn't end up playing center for us. And we're here at 124 now. Edge and safety sound like a good spot for one of those. Safeties. My boy Taff is still there. Jalen Kilgore's on the board. Demon from South Carolina. Shout out to the Gamecocks. Like him. Really like that. Linebacker. Torian York out of Texas A&M. Aiden Fisher from the Champions. Harold Perkins is there. Caleb Elam's Orr. Athlete. Nadeem Tucker led the nation in sacks this year. Well, he was up there. Hella sacks. Another lean player at the position. He's so productive. I can see it. But what we thinking? Jayshon Barham from Michigan. All the lean ass, we need to put some weight on them edge rushers on the board right now. I like the Dame Tucker of the available edges. But, hey, I'm going to get Target brand Harrison Smith, who was a former walk-on and ended up being a dog at Texas. Now we grab an edge here. Now we grab an edge here. And our options. Y'all told me we got enough Taviuses on the team. Come on, Caden Curry. This is a real eat your vegetables ass draft. Ain't nothing sexy about this joint. And that appears to be Adam Peters' style. While the relative athletic scores may be high, the sex appeal is typically low on Adam Peters' draft. And this feels like you know what? Just because he's here, give me Ted Hurst too. We double dipping at wide receiver because Terry's cap hit is 34, his age is 31, and we don't know what the case with Brandon Ayuk's gonna be. We double dipping. Y'all told me we need height in the room. We added Hurst and Malachi Field, and we took Oscar Delp just because we fucking felt like it, and we got hella picks in the draft. And to close out the class, let's see. Sonny Styles' brother, just to add him to the secondary room. You know what? We're going to take Zane Durant just because he's a freak athlete and an interior guy, and Deron Payne is leaving in free agency. So this was very AP-like. With this next class, we're going to do one more, and that's going to be what Rio and what fans would do. And it ain't going to be what AP would do. This is an AP special right here, ladies and gentlemen. We added a second rounder and a fourth rounder for 2027. And we added a second, a fourth, and a fifth in 2027. We added a second rounder this year, a fourth rounder, and we got the best lineman pound for pound in the entire class with this one. And turned out to be a pretty good class. This is an eat your vegetable. We're healthy as hell. They may not come out and say we got an A+ draft grade. We filled holes. We made strength stronger. We doubled up at wide receiver. Chris Johnson is starting opposite Amos at cornerback, who's a dog at San Diego State, by the way. We got budget Harrison Smith to fill in the athletic safety white boy prototype that's been in Minnesota for a very long time. Add you an edge from Ohio State. And Oscar Delp is taking the chain off of Colson Yankov. We have two tight ends that can get busy with some wiggle because Oscar Delp is going to go earlier than this in the draft. I don't think Georgia did him any favors. This was the Adam Peters special. Now for this last one, so we traded back to 11 with the first one. We traded back to 22 here. We're going to do one more for this exercise to complete our trinity of trading back at 7 options for the Washington Commander. I am of the belief, even through all of this, that the best option is for Washington to pick at 7 and to just pick a fucking dog. But I'm trying to condition and open my mind up to what is potentially possible at 7 in the mind of Adam Peters. Adam Peters do what he wants to. He don't care what we think. And all of these things are real possibilities. I'm trying to open up all of our minds as fans as to we get there. We've already seen the board where Ruben Bain goes at number 2. I'd rather not see that again. So no, run me my money back. Let's do that again. Let's not. Come on. Give me something else. These niggas want Bain to go. We're going to do the Pro Football Network board at this point. They want Bain to go too so bad. So bad. Well, let's try it this way. Oh my God, they are they are spamming us that Bain is going. All right, I'm going to start it over one more time. They want us to see Ruben Bain go second. Well, what are they trying to tell us? Clearly, that's an indicator. That is a clear indicator of what is to come when we get there next month. And I don't think it's impossible because if Bain is as good as his tape looks like and people don't care about arm size, he can go with the second pick because a lot of people think he's better at prospect than Bailey. And at this point, it's being spammed to us. We just took this one. We're not taking this one again. Tampa Bay offered this one again. And then Chicago offered, we're not going back in the 20s again. So this time, it's Jeremiah Love, David Bailey, and Reese. They want us to believe these niggas are going to be on the board. We're going to take this one this time. We're going to take 15. And this is what I would do this time. This is what I would do. We did what AP would do. You already know what time it is if I'm picking. Jordan Tyson at 15 me. And we got a second rounder now. Let's get active. Let's get active. I got my wide receiver one of the future. Shit, could be wide receiver one of the right now. Now that Cooper fell here, you hate that, but I love it. I love who I took in the first round. The edge from Illinois on my short list. Arizona State's corner, Keith Abney. I like it. I like it. I like my options here. Malachi Lawrence, the edge out of UCF. Love him being there. Sam Heck. Potentially get your center here. You know what? Three biggest needs on the roster right now. Corner, wide receiver, and center. We're going to get our starting center right here. And Nick Allegretti, you are now depth again. This is how I would attack this shit. And I'm about to move 2 more spots back to add some more picks. Pass interception demon, Davison Abinison from Ohio State. We're going to pass on you because we're going to tell that. What did I take so far? Let me put my picks on the board. I don't even got to wait long. I already know what I want to do. Wide receiver center. We hit our next biggest need. Dalen Everett, a corner that should probably be taken in the second round of the draft. 6 feet athletic guy. Come on down. You're starting with Trey Amos on the outside. We filled our 3 biggest needs. We are now in best player available territory for the rest of this class. We took our center, so we don't have to go center here. Give me the Dame Tucker, one of the most productive edges in the league in college football that nobody talks about. We're getting a quarterback. We got a center, we got a corner, and we got my favorite wide receiver in the class, which wouldn't stop me from taking another one. Cornerback room is bare too, so I wouldn't mind taking another one of those, but there's a linebacker there's an athletic freak who could play corner or safety, but I think Jalen Kilgore might be a better corner option than safety, so I'm going Aiden Fisher to get me another badass white boy linebacker to go with Leo Chenal in the middle of the defense, and to finish up the class, to bring it all back together, athletic freak, 6'2" safety out of Oklahoma, Robert Spears Jennings. So trading back is an option. And while it can be fun playing on the mock draft machine and trading back picks and shit like that, and you could get a good class, I think the best option still is picking a fucking dog at 7. As bad as I want a wide receiver, I think this team's going to take a defender at 7. I think it's going to be one of your Buckeyes defenders. I think it's going to be Ruben Bain or Mansour Delane or one of the 3 Buckeye. Somebody's going to be picking at 7, staring you in the face, and they're going to pick one of them with the 7th pick in the draft. But Washington still has some good options, and my mind is open. I'm not going to be as mad as the year they traded back with the Jahan Dotson situation. I knew that shit was a nightmare in real time. It ended up being one because none of them players stuck from that trade. So trading back is fun on the mock draft machine. It could make sense as far as eating your vegetables and adding what Washington needs on this roster. I still think that Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Ruben Bain, Mansour Delane, Arvell Reese, or even throw in David Bailey, that's going to be the pick at 7, and that's what's probably going to happen in real life. But today, just wanted to do a little experiment and play with the mock draft machine, and we traded back to 11-1, we traded back to 22-1, and we traded back to 15. So we made trades with the Miami Dolphins, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Los Angeles Chargers, just to see what the options would be. In one, we took Jordan Tyson, and one, we took Vega Owane, the interior lineman out of Penn State. And with the first one, off the top of my head, I don't even remember what we did at the first one, but we got a good ass football player. At 11, no, we got Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles fell to 11. That's what we did in the first one. But just playing around with the machine and seeing what Washington's doing. Washington has glaring needs at wide receiver, center, and cornerback, and a trade back would probably like take care of the necessary needs Washington needs, but just get me some dogs, get me some impact contributors. And I think the best place to get a blue chip talent is with the 7th pick. So I'm still team sticking pick, but I'm a lot more open-minded to trading back from 7 than I was originally. I probably wouldn't last long as a GM, but I like to have fun with this thing. It is Friday afternoon. If more news comes back, we will be one of the first to talk about it on the channel. That's all I got for right now. If anything, Brandon Ayuk comes out, I'll probably pop my head back out there. But until then, we wait. Thank y'all for making it fun on the channel. Hail to the Commanders. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. If you're in the DMV, the sun is out this weekend. I'm not saying pull the shorts out, but pull them shits out. Enjoy your weekend. Hail to the Washington Commanders. And until next time, bleed burgundy and gold. Talk soon.